So if you're here with us, just stay glued. I'm trying to make sure that everything is going on well. All right. So good evening, everyone. Here it's Favor Emily. I am a business consultant and I have over 6 years of experience in this field of consulting. And I've helped businesses acquire grants. I've helped businesses kickstart, both those who have little or nothing, and we were able to guide them through the process of starting their businesses, most of the times with zero money. All right. So sometimes when people say how you can start a business with zero or from zero, it makes so much sense because someone might be thinking, how can I start a business? I don't have money. I don't have resources. I don't have a rich uncle. I don't have a connection. I don't have a couple of things. But then how is it possible to still start a business and make resources out of it? That is what I'm here to tell you. You can actually start that business. And I will tell you lots of personal stories from my own personal stories of how I started lots of businesses without capital from home, without capital from anybody. And these businesses you were able to grow. In fact, at a matter of time, some of the businesses I started, and I will be giving you details of how much we were able to make from these businesses from quite a very young age when it was almost impossible to get money from anyone. So please stay glued with me and I'll give you lots of goodies. So, but then when someone says how to start a business from zero, I also sometimes want to make it clear that zero does not mean nothing. Yes. Zero does not mean nothing. In the world of arithmetic, zero is something very, very vital to everybody. It doesn't mean nothing because people who are into code development, who write code, who write programs, and our systems, and they say our world runs in binary, which means zeros and ones. So the zero doesn't mean nothing, and one is also tangible. So when I say zero, zero might mean the very strong thing you have that looks so intangible. Why one? Everybody will think is a very tangible something. So, but let me put it straight to you. There are quite things that are very much intangible. When I say intangible, they are very vital, but because you can't feel them with your hands, you can't feel them, you can't see them with your eyes, you can't touch them with your senses, you can only imagine them. They are abstract. That's what I mean by intangible. But very, very vital. And money is not one of them. Sometimes when people talk about capital, they limit to just money. Money is not the only thing you need to start a business. As a matter of fact, even if you have all the money, you can start a business and still fail because money is not the only thing you need to start a business. You know, when they say money is not everything, I think business was one of the things that people looked at and said money is not everything. So there is a point to get to in business, you need money to scale, no doubt. People believe you have to put in money to make money, no doubt. But to start, it doesn't mean if I don't have money, I cannot start. There are whole lots of other capital someone can have and still make it to the world of business and come out so buoyant. So I'm telling you now, you can start a business with zero capital. And from that zero capital, you can have a real cash flow running in hundreds of millions. All right. So I'll be sharing personal stories with you all along. I'll be sharing personal stories with you all along. Stories upon stories upon stories. I've done a couple of businesses, and the first business I did. Okay, so after some point, sometime around, I can still remember the year, but that should be around 2011 or so. That should be around 14, 15 years ago when I tried my first business. And what was the business? It was something simple, just to fry popcorn. All right, I've done a couple of MLM then where you're told to, the popular thing we know about bringing two people to bring it two people to bring two people. All right, but then, you know, it was still fresh. Like people would say, it never cast then. All right, so, but I tried my efforts in all of those MLM stuff. It didn't work. Then I decided and told myself, let me fly and flag and flaunt a business I can start for myself. So one of the things I did there was that I was able to spot an opportunity. Then I went to the prestigious Federal University of Technology, Owerri, and a couple of things I've learned. I've read books, The Millionaire's Coach, The Millionaire's Secret, Richest Man in Babylon. I read a couple of books about business. So when an opportunity came out, I was able to spot the opportunity. So the only guy who was selling popcorn just suddenly folded. And what did we do? We decided to take the opportunity. And I left school for about a week to learn how to fry popcorn. And I didn't just want to learn that. I wanted to make it better. I wanted to make it sweeter. I wanted to make it more conducive. So whatever thing you can talk about popcorn in my year one, you would always come to us, because then the popcorn that was fried with butter and milk was not so popular in the whole of the institution. We were the first to start that. All right. I remember when I went to post-GMA University, I remember I ate this very sweet popcorn and I asked, they said there was milk and there was butter. So I went back there and learned it and came back to school and we started the business. What did it cost? So somebody is saying, I'm teaching how to start a business without capital. Does it mean I had a capital then to start the business? No, I did not. All right. So as a matter of fact, when we went to learn that, the guy actually gave us a bill and we said, okay, it's not like we cannot pay this bill. Who would pay? But then allow us to service your business, allow us to serve you for quite some time. The 1 week is enough. Let's help you do this. So as a matter of fact, I would go to the guy's place of work and I'll be there turning the popcorn for him. Because part of the things you have to know is that resources are not just money. There are other things you can have, and that is the things I will list for you in the course of this business. So we are turning the popcorn for him, doing a couple of. As a matter of fact, I would see people that I know from secondary school who also got admission in that other school. They would say, some of them will even buy and leave the change for me and say, "Ha, boss, how far now? Collect this one." And they will think I'm that poor. I wasn't poor. I keep telling people that I wasn't poor, but then I needed to do something for myself, because sometimes we'll talk about starting a business. People think you have to start a business because you are poor, you need to fend for yourself. No, as a matter of fact, then I was the last born and of 6 families. So you can imagine how old my other siblings would be. And they were willing to support and do a couple of other things. But then I needed to do something for myself. All right. So that was how that business started. All right. So as a matter of fact, I remember we've paid a house rent, and we called the landlord on phone and said, I thought about it, paying such an amount for a house rent when that money can actually be a capital for me. I called the landlord and said, sir, please, I'm not sure we are still interested in this house. We entered another realm of negotiation with the landlord. You know what it means that you've paid a landlord to live in a house and that money was refunded back to you. You must know what you have in your lips to tell this man. Is it that he's a good Samaritan, or you were so good and so swift with your words that you were able to convince this man to refund you your house rent? And we packed out and went down to what looks like the remote part of that community where we paid less. Then the money was converted as a capital to start a business. All right. So I'm not trying to tell you what I've not done. This is a strategy I have replicated over and over and over and again. I've done a business for about 2 years, and how the capital for funding that business was coming out, I will give you the secret. All right. So part of the thing I want to tell you and I want to establish is that zero does not mean nothing. Zero could mean resources that you cannot feel with your hands. Okay. Can mean resources you cannot see with your eyes. Can mean resources you cannot handle. But then they are quite very vital, but intangible, because you can't feel them, you can't touch them, you can't see them. All right. So that is what I'm here to tell you. So what are the things you need to know about how to start a business? I want to tell you something. There is always something you have. There is always something you have to start with. Now, that something you have might not be money, but then you have relationships around you. You have someone who knows how to do things, who knows how to do something else. All right. You have a skill. You know, when I tell people you have a skill, part of the things they don't even try to understand is that all your life, you've been washing plates. Don't you think that is a skill? In fact, you've been walking, like when I mean walking, trekking. You think that is not a skill simply because you take it so lightly. And you think it doesn't matter because every other person is walking, can use their 2 legs to walk. You have your hands. You can wash plates. It's a skill. All right. You have your mouth. And you can speak. It's a skill. Sometimes you even have eyes to see. Do you know seeing is a skill? But there is a way. People are hired to look after something. When you look at the security guards, don't you think they are being hired? Have you seen a blind man who is a security guy? So part of the things that are being paid for is also to use their eyes to safeguard things. It's a skill. So the moment you're still seeing with your eyes, it simply means you have a skill. You have a skill. You have a skill. So something we'll talk about skill. Let's not see it as the skill of football, the skill of singing, the skill of, there are basic, minute skill everybody has. And the issue now is how can you profit from these skills to bring them into your business so that you can make maximum profit? Now, this is a part of the things we'll have to talk about. But then before that, I want to tell you a story. There was this woman. She seemingly has all the things needed to start a business, but she didn't know. She was so much focused on the negativity. What was the negativity? The first negativity was that she lost her husband. The second negativity is that the husband left pile up of debts. When I say debts, I mean debts. So much money that the husband was owing before he departed or before he demised, as the case may be. All right. So when the husband left the earth and this woman was left as a widow with so much debt to pay back, and the debtors were coming, knocking on the doors, seizing property. In fact, there was even no property left because most of the properties were used as collateral. He had nothing left behind for this wife to manage. And what happened? This woman said, all is gone for me. Devastated, demoralized, anything you can add to that statement. She felt it hard, broke, and having a son to tend for. And all she had, according to her, was just a jar of oil. You know what a jar of oil means? I don't know, probably something of this nature. I don't know if I should show you this, maybe something of this kind of perfume, just a jar like this, of oil like this, and that was all she had. And she didn't see it as anything tangible, just the same way you're looking at me now with your eyes, and you don't think the way you're looking at me now is a skill. There are people that will be hired to just look at a property, and they will tell you how to analyze this property, how to evaluate it, how to do a couple of things. So the same way she had that same oil and didn't realize that was a skill for her, and that was something she could have. You know, there was something else I also discovered. I noticed that on earth, there will never be a time where you have nothing that you cannot replicate to earn money. That time has never come. There is never a time. The only thing there is that you might be blind, that your eyes are not seeing them, or you've so much gotten used to this thing that you've commonized this, that you think it doesn't make sense anymore. That time will never come. So this woman, it took her just a slight discussion with a man who came her way and said, what do you have in the house? And she said she has nothing, just that all she had, according to her, is just a jar of oil. And what was the instruction that was given to her by the man? You know, listening is a skill. And what did she bring into that conversation? She brought the skill of listening. And she started listening to this guy who said, go and borrow. This woman that says she has nothing, she had the skill of listening. She had the skill of conviction that she can convince people to give her vessels, to give her more jars. Do you know what it means that you don't have nothing and you want to borrow containers and you're telling them, please, can you give me containers? For the fact you're able to convince them is a skill on its own. I'll still relate this to your business. Stay with me. All right. So she was able to convince these people to give her containers, and they gave her lots of containers. And she also has a skill of masculinity, or femininity, or I don't want to use the word femininity. I want to compare it to masculinity because that is what it means to have muscles like this. So she was able to carry all those vessels and brought it into her own house. Whether the son helped her or she was able to convince those people to bring the vessels to her house is another level of skill. It's a level of skill. It's called an influence. So you can see this woman that said she had nothing, had words that can convince someone, had ears that can listen attentively, had will, strong will to be obedient and believe that something of this can yield profit to her. Are you seeing the skills now? But for her, all those skills mean zero. But for the fact that it is zero does not mean it is nothing. Like I say, zero and nothing is not the same. Listen to me carefully. Let's follow it. This same one, now she has brought the jars. Another instruction came, shut the doors, and she had the skill of closing doors. They look very minute. They look very unnecessary, but these are skills. All right. So when she shut the doors, and then another instruction, can you pour these jars into an oil? So it's more like you're bringing something like this, like I said before, and you're pouring this perfume into 50 liters of gallon. And from this little thing that you neglected, from it and filled 50 liters of oil. Another one came out, another 50 liters, 100 liters, tanks, and the rest of that. And the water kept flowing. It flowed and flowed and flowed till there was no more empty jars. Let me tell you something. For the fact your life is empty now means you can make so much money. I'm not trying to bubble you with motivational talk. No, I'm trying to tell you what it is. For the fact you're feeling bitter, for the fact you're feeling demoralized, for the fact you're feeling down, for the fact you feel like you have nothing, for the fact you're staring at me now and it seems you want to cry and your bank account is screaming, help, help. You're even opening your loan apps to see which app you can borrow from, and there is no one left again that you've not borrowed from, and you've not even paid. For the fact you're in that situation means you're not alone. It simply means there are other things you can do that can pick you out of that debt and keep you on a pedestal to start rising to the point of financial freedom. And that is my mission in this class, to pick you from such debt, from such wretched condition, to bring you up to the point of financial freedom. All right. So please still flow with me. All right. So this woman has a job. There is nothing else. But then I want to tell you again, so a kind of a self-valuation. What do you have that you can use? Can you speak? Can you talk? Do you have skill? Some of you even know how to bake and you're still complaining that my baking is not working, this and that, a couple of other things. I will still come to that to tell you the difference between the skill of business and the business of skill. I'll come to that. Stay with me. All right. So the skill of business and the business of skill. I'll come to that. Yeah, I'll come to that. Just stay with me. Let's flow together. So after all of these things, the next step was to borrow vessels. She borrowed vessels and the miracle started happening. You know, one thing I've discovered out of life, that stuff was not a miracle. It might look like one, but it's an inner expression of what is achievable by every single human being on earth in different dimensions. I would explain. Now, when I say it's not a miracle, this is what I mean, because there are people too who with their works have created things. I remember a man, or even lepers, another story. I remember lepers, they were somewhere, they were so stranded, they didn't know what to do. You know what lepers meant in the olden days? They have to be cast out to another place. They were excommunicated. That's the word to use. They don't stay with the normal human beings. And they said something. If we stay here as lepers, we are hungry. I think we might still lose our lives. But if we go to the other city, even if they still take our lives there, it's better. Let it be that we lost our life in a bid to make an attempt. Now, so I want to tell you something. The first point to starting a business with nothing is for you to be willing to even start. It's for you to get up, make a move. You've been telling yourself, I will go and meet this my uncle to tell him about my business idea. But then something in you is telling you that if I tell him, he will not listen. You need to shut those minds. No, I was in church one day and the minister who was teaching said something. If you can expand yourself, if you can expand your horizon, that things can come out from it. And then the office we were using was quite a very small office. And I asked myself, what can I task my brain now to do as an expansion of my horizon to make sure things are working? And what did I do? I remembered I have someone who had a couple of houses here and there. And the next day, that was on Sunday, I think it was that same Sunday, from church, I left and went straight to the man's house. And when I went there, I didn't actually know how to start a discussion with him. So luckily enough, I was able to meet with his wife, and I told the wife, "This is my plan." That plan was never convinced in any, like I never conceptualized it before then. I told her I needed this, I needed that, and I know your husband has houses. I don't know if there is any of the houses. What I even said was that I don't know if there is any of the houses available for sale. But I said for sale, I don't even have the money. But sometimes when you stand before your helpers, you have to talk to their own level. All right. You don't talk when you meet people. You don't talk to the level of your. You don't speak at the level of your situation. You speak at the level of the height you want to climb to. Somebody might call it packaging. Somebody might call it lying. I don't know what you call it, but I'm telling you what it's like and what it is. You speak to the level you want to attain. So I said, I don't know if there is a house you have for sale. She looked at me like, where this one see money to buy house and all of that. And true, I don't see money to buy. I don't get money to buy. But then the long story cut short is that I was able to secure a place quite bigger, more resourceful for me. And yes, they ended up not selling because they felt like I couldn't buy, but then simply because they felt like they don't have any for sale. that they still needed those resources. But what I'm trying to tell you is that with my lips, with my mouth, I was able to negotiate my way into something bigger. Now, still 0 naira, just words. All right. So you need to make a move. You need to get started. That's what I'm trying to say. Make big moves beyond the levels of your own mind, beyond the levels of your situation. That's how you bring yourself into another point. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. So these people, the lepers, they said, if we stay here, we'll lose our life. If we still go there, we might survive. But then, even if we don't survive, it's still the same thing. So they got up and they made moves. Do you know the way it was written in the scripture? They say that their footsteps were amplified as though it were the chariots of war, the footsteps of lepers. And when you know lepers, if you understand what leprosy means, it simply means that some of their toes here have been cut off, like has been eaten deep by the sickness. So they don't even have complete toes anymore. And their footsteps were amplified, that the enemy camp thought it was chariots they were coming to attack them. Do you know what happened? The enemies ran away for them. They felt like our enemies are coming for us. They didn't know it was just lepers that were coming. Business started for these lepers. They didn't bring in one night. All they did was their ability to stand up and make a move. That was all they contributed in it. A business started for them. So from there, they saw lots of food, lots of stuff, and they were eating food. After they were done eating, they carried a whole lot and went back and now told the king of their country, say food they the other side. And if they were wise enough, they would have carried the whole food and monetized it, that you will now come to their chamber as a leper. You know what lepers mean, that you were excommunicated. But I want to tell you something. Even if you've been excommunicated, when you have value, when you have resources, even with your leprosy, people would embrace you and hug you very well. Nobody cares about what disease you have. What they care is that you don't have any value to give them. Once you're resourceful, once you have value, let me tell you something about having value I've experienced. Now, I was in a company and I was about to train their workers. I went there with a friend, and the friend made a statement. My friend made a statement in the course of our training and our teachings. He made a statement. He said, do you know, and it's something I've experienced as a business owner, there are some of my workers that have done things that probably deserve to be sacked. I joke not with you. But there is so much value someone would offer you that you don't even see the faults. Not because you don't see it, but because you tell yourself, this can be managed, provided that this result keeps coming. Value. All right? Value. Someone said, when you have value, people look away from your inabilities. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So they've offered so much value that those things doesn't matter. So my friend said something. Do you know that in this business, as a marketer, do you know if your CEO is telling you now that if you come late by 8 o'clock, your salary will be deducted. If you do this, this one will be deducted. If you do that, this one will be deducted. And something happened. Do you know, as a marketer, if you're bringing in every week 100 million naira to this company, either by the land you're selling, or by the resources you're bringing in, or by the customers you're raking in, or by the sales you are closing, even if you tell your oga, say, I know they can't work for 1 week, and in that 1 week you were outside the office, 100 million came inside the office through you, and you demand for 1 month permission, your guy will give you 2 months, because you've made him believe that when you are absent, money is coming. Your inability to be excused because you are bringing result, value. Now, when people see this value in you, people see this result in you, there is nothing they cannot give you. Remember, it is not money in your pockets. It is value and resources in your mind that flows out. So when people talk about capital, they don't see that part of capital. They don't see that part of capital. They only see money in the hands, which is not everything. And I'm telling you the truth. There are people that have money, but you cannot work with them. And there are lots of other people who don't have money, but the resources they bring to the table, you feel like you don't want to lose these people. You want to stay with them. So let me tell you something else you need to have. There are skills, the place of skills. I read a story. I think it was Dr. Emmanuel Limide who shared that story in one of his events or one of his programs. I can't remember exactly, but he made a statement. Say there was a time they wanted to kickstart an airline. I don't know how the story went, but that was how he said it. And he remembered there was this woman he met 17 years ago who has been working on an airline and a couple of other things. He felt this woman would have been the best person who is supposed to be the manager of the airline, knowing that she has had 17 years of experience. Now, listen to me with this one so that you understand what you're going into. So for 17 years. So when the time came, he told the board of managers or board of trustees, oh, I already have someone who would manage this. The way he was bragging for this woman has 17 years of experience. I met her 17 years ago. She has been doing this, she has been doing that. And at the end of the day, he told the PA, please reach out to this woman, invite her to my office. And the woman came and he told the woman, this is what we need to do. This is what we have to do. This is what the plan we are on the pipeline. And this is what we've done so far about the plan. And we want someone who would manage this as a country manager. Let's even kickstart from this country, then before we expand to the other country. And then after he was down, thinking he was pitching. In fact, he was pitching to this woman the ideas, pitching so hard so that this woman would say yes to manage this airline. All right. So after everything, as he was pitching the idea, the woman was crying. He somehow got confused. Is it that I'm belittling this woman? Is it that she has grown past this level? Is she feeling insulted? And after she was done talking, this woman said, all I know how to do is air ticketing. Not only ticket I they sell. He said no, he couldn't believe what he heard. So he asked again, is it for the 17 years you've worked in the airline industry, all you've been doing is you've been selling tickets? She said yes. Hi. He said right there, he got up, deleted the woman's number, and left. It's quite shocking. Someone might say he was very brutal. No. How can you be in an industry for 17 years and all you were doing was the skill of that industry without learning the business of that industry? It's very shameful. It's very shameful. For 17 years, you were learning the skill of that industry without learning the business of that industry. Just selling tickets, making commissions, and that was all. The same way people have been in the bank for 25 years without learning the business of banking. They were only learning the skill of counting money for 25 years. And you now brag, I have 25 years in the banking industry, 25 my foot. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Are you not ashamed of yourself? You should be flogged. All right. So these are part of the things people don't, and yet they tell you they have nothing. But you've been in the oil well, but you don't understand the business of the oil well. You're only there. So that is why, and the problem I have with employees, they tell you my job here is to do my job and go home. That is all I have to do. I do my task. I stop where I'm told to stop. I do what I'm told to do. No gossip, no. Shut up your mouth. That is why you've never been nothing else aside a cashier in that banking industry. It should be very shameful. It should be. No, I'm serious. It should be. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad or belittle anybody, but I'm saying this to make you angry so that you can get up and stretch yourself to a limit where things can actually start flowing out of you. Be serious with your life. All right. So I'm not saying this because I'm an expert. No, but some things actually are supposed to be handled so clearly and properly. Now, having been 17 years in the airline industry, you don't know how to get the IATA certification, at least the processes of even getting the booking back end. Okay, you don't know how to do all of these things. You don't know how to manage customers. You don't know the departments, other departments, even in the airline industry, that needs to come together to make it a system. You don't know these things. And for 17 years, you were comfortable. You come to work by 7 a.m. because the organization says you come by 7. You even come by 6:55, 5 minutes before 7. You sit down. I came early. Nobody should minus my salary. I came early. And you've been selling tickets. Once it's 5:30, you can even add additional 30 minutes and stay till 6 and you go home. And you recycle that every day, 5 days in a week, 52 weeks in a month, 12 months in a year for 17 years. And now... So sometimes when I keep telling people there is a skill of a business and there is a business of a skill. So this woman just learned the skill of the industry without learning the business of the industry. So I will say it again. There is also the skill of baking. Do you know you can meet the expert baker in the world and learn all the recipes of baking and live there and still not achieve the person's results. 100% possible. Okay. But you can also learn, as you're learning the skill of baking, you're also learning the business of baking. Now, have you ever asked yourself, this work you do in this office, how does Oga get customers? You don't challenge yourself with that. How does Oga get resources? You don't challenge yourself with that. How is he able to make money and pay these millions of salaries he pays every month? It's none of your business. You just want to do your work and go home. Now, let's say if tomorrow now something goes off, what will happen? There's this also another story of a woman who was a lecturer. She even grew to the point of being a professor. All right. And after some years and the rest of that, she retired. And she would always come to church and the same story was even shared by Dr. Emmanuel Olumide. Okay, he said the woman would always come to church and say, Pastor, I would not retire, this and that. So all glory be to God for safe retirement. So we are receiving our gratuity, this and that. And he said he was listening to this thing. He didn't believe that these things were this mean that you go home, nothing else to do with your life. And he asked the woman, and he asked the woman, all the while, you read any book that probably you could be teaching people with, that probably we can market for people to buy, that we can sell to people and the rest of that. Say I'm not cut out for business, I'm not cut out for entrepreneurship, so you're comfortable work and that is it. Okay, I'm not cut out for this, so if you're comfortable with this is what you should be doing. But let me tell you something, there is a skill of business, there is a skill of teaching, there is a business of teaching. And I'll say this again, all right, so that you would hear me. I have a relative who was a teacher, or who is still a teacher, and there was a couple of times when probably must have reached out to help out with a couple of things. And one day I wasn't comfortable because I know I wrote a business plan for a friend then who was doing extramural lessons, extracurricular lessons, like the people will call it. So after I wrote that business plan for the guy, I reached out to this relative. I said, beyond teaching, do you still have additional time or extra time to invest into things? Okay. He said, yeah, there are a couple of things, this and that. I said, okay, I have a business plan out. I want you to replicate it. Somebody else paid for this business plan. So what I'm giving you for free, don't even take it lightly. Forget that we are relatives and the rest of that. So I told her, oh yeah, reach out to so. You're don't just teach. There is business of teaching. You have the skill of teaching. All right. And you're offering it to a school and they're paying you salary. You can also do the business of this teaching and have people pay you. What did I do? I thought, okay, go to church. When you go to church, print out something and ask people, this holiday period, I can train your people, I can train your days, I can train. And she did it. And in that same month, I think she made up to 350,000 or 400,000. I think she made up to 350,000 or 300,000 by the same thing. You know, sometimes the things you make money from, that is a business, does not need extra capital. These are things you've already been doing. Just that you now offer the service to another sector. Now, some time ago, I was working with someone, and I think we went to get, I think it was a phone we went to get. I can't remember exactly. And, you know, these people that when you see a big van carrying a couple of things and they are dancing in that van, you know, trying to advertise and market the products, people, they will just grab attention so people will see them dancing. You know what my friend said? He said, maybe this same time people, they dance for TikTok, they collect money. In fact, he mentioned, is it Speedy Pop or something like that? Maybe this same dance, where Speedy Pop, they dance, they collect millions of followers, that these guys are here under the hot sun and sweating, and at the end of the day, they'll be giving 5,000 naira. And it hit me in my head. And these guys will be saying, we don't have a business. But meanwhile, they have the skill of dancing. But if you ask them now, they say, the widow who doesn't have it, they say, I don't get anything, no. But they can dance. And they have a phone. And to download TikTok is free. But the village people is using their head. Instead of just putting the camera there and dance, it will take you. People think that because there is no immediate bread that will come out from this skill, you can't start business today and start earning today. So because there is no immediate bread that will come out, they forget there is it's two-way thing. There is a bread given to an eater, and there is a seed given to a sower. These are two different things. So people perceive that they're and they forget that they have a seed to sow. So while you are still getting bread from dancing on the streets and dancing to those songs on the streets, and you're being paid your 5,000 naira for dancing, you can be sowing your seed and waiting for the seed to keep coming. So that is why I tell people, before you quit your job, before you lose that bread out of your mouth, start sowing seed of business early enough, because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Somebody can wake up tomorrow and say your services are not needed anymore. Somebody can wake up tomorrow and say your services are not needed anymore. And somebody can also wake up tomorrow and say that your business is gone. All right. And someone said the skill, the work, and the business of the work are needed if advancement will be seen. Of course. So that is how it is. And okay. I'm trying to go through the comments here so that we can actually bread given to an eater and a seed given to a sower. Okay. And a couple of other comments here. There is a bread given to an eater and a seed given to a sower. All right. So, and that is the gospel truth about some of these things that we need to understand very well. The same thing you've been doing every day. There was a time I went to TikTok and I saw that somebody was sleeping and I was on live. Like the camera was live. The same sleep I sleep every day. And somebody is sleeping and making money out of the sleeping. So now that I realized, say sleeping is a skill. And nobody say she was sleeping in a very tushed way. Somebody just on camera live, they sleep, and people were donating coins. At the end of the day, he might make, or the person might make up to $3, $5. But you slept all through, and you're not making money from your sleep. So when I say there is a skill, actually, so in fact, I'm tempted to tell you that there is a skill of sleeping. There's also a business of sleeping. So she's doing the business of sleeping. We've been doing the skill of sleeping. We're not making money from it. And she did the business of sleeping, and coins we are dropping on her TikTok. So there is unlimited avenues and opportunities to make money as it is now. Someone might be looking at me now. Thank you for the people that are dropping coin on the TikTok too. It's very okay. But okay. Someone is also saying something that that having a skill is one. Positioning yourself rightly is another thing. Of course, dancing on the street and dancing inside your house. In fact, when you're dancing inside your house too, your dignity is maintained. Your steeze and composure is there for you. All right. But then you're dancing in the street, everybody's looking at everybody is demeaning you. But the same people dancing on TikTok, having their money, for example, advertisers are meeting them, please advertise the product, and are paying them thousands of dollars. I know what I'm telling you. Without stress, without capital, just phone and data, business have started. Okay, so these are probably the things we have to look at. So people are actually moved by immediate gratification more than the long-term investment. Very true. Very true. Very true. So these are part of these. So my mama is here. Thank you very much, ma. I appreciate your comment. We couple fasting on TikTok and they're really making more. Of course, things happens and money from this thing. That can actually make you angry and motivate you, because you look at yourself and you think you don't have much. You have a whole lot that you can make money from. I started this training by telling you there are people that when they are looking at you, the same way you'll be looking at people, you don't know that just seeing things is money. No security person that will be hired if you're not, if your eyes are not working. You have to be vigilant is a skill. A couple of other things. There is also someone who has been in the job of security. All you do is you're opening door, you're closing door, and the rest of that. You don't know how you can turn that security work into a business. Are you satisfied in opening door forever? Please stretch yourself, stretch your mind. I don't want to hit this so much. So the next thing I want to tell you now is how you can use other people's resources. Let's say that you're not interested in using your skill because you think your skill is too small and it cannot make you money. Good and fine. I won't argue with you. Okay. So let's say your business you want to start is you need a capital of up to 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. I don't know how much capital you need, but let's assume that you need so much of such capital. And you've checked your bank account. Your bank account is telling you, oh boy, you can't sleep. That money no go come. Are you sabi? But I want to tell you how you can raise that money and start that business. All right. So one of the things you have to look at is this. There is a concept of using other people's money, other people's resources. I call it OPR, other people's resources. There's also OPM, other people's money. There is OPT, other people's time. For the other people's time, I maximize that a lot. So there are a couple of things I would want to do. I don't have all the time to do it. I outsource them. I borrow people's time and have them do that work for me. Other people's time. All right. So other people's money, for people that think that money is everything, that you need money to achieve everything you need to achieve, other people's money. But let me tell you something. But before I launch you into all of these resources or other people's resources, you need to tell, I want to give you 4 warnings. I hold your ear like this. It's a warning. As I'm saying it now, just hold your, in fact, use your 2 hands, hold your 2 ears like this. It's a warning. I'm giving it to you now. Hold it. Hold it very well. No, you're not holding it very well. Drop that phone now. Drop that phone and hold your ears like this. That's it. Yes, you're doing it right now. It's a serious warning. Once you decide to bring people in or use people's resources, especially if it is their money, you must be willing to drop a level of equity and control in that business. It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable, because if I'm bringing my money into your business, you must tell me, what am I gaining? Am I being paid with interest? Am I being paid with equity? Am I being paid with shares? What level of control am I bringing in? If I'm bringing in my expertise, intellectual knowledge, you have to tell me, what resources am I supposed to have, all right? And what will you give me in exchange for that? So you should be willing to leave some things off the table. So part of the thing that happens that when I hear people pitch an idea, they say we need this. Sometimes if you listen to Lions Den, Dragons Den, the rest of that, you see that for every time they say that we need an injection of capital of social amount, and in exchange we are giving you 20% of our business. That is how it works. So, but you need people's money, and you went to your uncle. You're telling your uncle, remember how you were petting us when we were small? Remember how our daddy paid your school fees? Let me tell you, the worst way to collect people's stuff is to tell them to remind them what you did for them in the past. That is very useless. It might bring you empathy. You might think you're trying to trade because you've done something for someone in the past. They owe you that responsibility of doing something for you in the future. You're not wicked that if you do for me, I do for you. No, sir. No, sir. You are not. You are not. If you do for me, I do for you. But you can do for them and they will not do for you. What I'm trying to say is that don't extend that hand to people that because I've done this for you, I've now come to you, do for me too. No. Each time you stretch a hand to people, each time you stretch a hand to people to do something for you. Always stretch your other hand and tell them, this is what I will receive. This is what I'm giving you in exchange for that. You know, sometimes there's this movie that trended then, and I think Efe, and I'm trying to remember the name of that movie. Who can remind me again? To Kill a Monkey, exactly. To Kill a Monkey. And what did happen in that movie? The moment Efe was caught to negotiation table, remember, he saved this guy before. He didn't say, this guy is doing something for me because I learned the skill of saving people so that I can preserve their life. I also know the business of saving people. I want to bring forth that business and I want 50% in exchange. And they negotiated. I think it landed them to 25% in exchange. So what I'm trying to say is that the moment you extend the hand, you want something from people. Don't meet your uncle and say and start crying and start telling them God will bless you, and you live there. The uncle did not give you money. You're saying that God will punish this. You see these rich people, they don't help people. They are wicked. And funny enough, you can even see that your rich uncle too. Now that election is coming up, you will not hear that he brought in 100 million naira and he's sponsoring so election, so person. Do you know the offer the person gave him in exchange for that 100 million naira? And you're coming to collect 1 million naira, 50,000 naira, and you're telling him, God in heaven will bless you, sir, for helping me. Remember, our daddy have died, and our mommy cannot do this one. If you give us this money, it will go a long way, and God will bless you. I will not forget you in my life. You think that is the promise they want to hear? Don't be stupid. That's not how it works. That is why you're moving from office to office, begging for money, and nobody's giving you money to start that business. Because the most important skill of negotiation you should learn, you didn't learn it. Do you know how life works? Life is a give and take. Life is a give and take. Even if the person he's sponsoring his election with that 100 million is not giving him anything, he knows when to make a demand on the person's resources and it will come out. You may not understand how life works. You think everything is about pleading with people, appealing to pity. It will not work, sir. No, sir. It doesn't work like that. Always put forth a hand of exchange. I need your 10 million naira. And in exchange, I'm giving you this, my plot of land, as a collateral. And in addition, I'm giving you 1% equity in my business, 5% equity in my business. Let's do this thing together and see it will work. That is the first thing you should understand the moment you're stretching out for other people's resources. Be willing to give out something in exchange. It's as simple as that. All right? So the second thing you have to know is this. Negotiate your way in. Negotiation is everything. Now, I was in one of the events, I think by Pastor Sam Adeyemi. That was in my, that should be my year 2 or year 3, about 13 years ago. Okay, so someone said to me, I think that the skill of negotiation is actually being belittled by people, but it is great skill to master as a business person. Of course it is, because every day of your life you're negotiating, all right? So I went to this event by somebody and he made a statement. He said, how many of you want to start a business and you don't have money? And then I think I was in year 2, year 3, and I've traveled from Owerri to Lagos just for that event. I was like, what magic does this man want to do here? Do you want to give them money to start a business? Are you asking them, if you want to start a business and you don't have money, can you raise your hand? You know, I thought like it's another kind of giveaway bonanza. Yeah, I follow raise my hand up like this. So say I get business what I want to, say now money what I know get. I was like, but let me be calm. So when he now said that, he saw the lots of hands in the air. And he was like, okay, so there are lots of businesses in this room, but you are incapacitated by capital. Okay, let me tell you how you can go get this capital. And he started, and everything he talked about in that meeting was about negotiation. He said, do you know you can meet the land? What? Okay, now let's even think about, if I give you this money, what will you use this money for? Someone said something, I'll go and rent an office. I need to rent an office. Someone said, I need money to buy the goods and products. He simply said, do you know you can get all of these things just through negotiation? Have you gone to this landlord and say, I want to start this business and I need this space? All right. But this is how I want to pay. Instead of 12 months, sir, let me pay 3 months, and every food I will cook in this restaurant, because I want to use this place as a restaurant. Every food I will cook here, I can give you a voucher for your company. They can eat here for the rest of the year for free with this voucher, and I'll still pay you 3 months salary, and I'll still pay you 3 months rent. Do you think that man will say no? Everybody have a need. Everybody have a need. I was in church one day. I think the Transforming Church or so by Pastor Samuel. He was talking about how they were able to get some massive plots of land, and they didn't pay money for this thing. Listen to me, no money was paid, and there was a pure and clean transfer of documents. The only thing the person said is that I own this land with my partner. For my own part, I don't want to collect money, but can you service the cost of my partner who owned this land with me too? Have you asked yourself, what did he negotiate with this man to get that land for free? As I told you before, like the lepers, you first have to stand up first and make a move. You have to stand up. You're going to get up. You're going to stand up and make a move. When you make a move, every other thing in the universe would align for you to make things work out perfectly. That is how it works. But if you're there in your bed, winning and crying, how will it happen? So you have to negotiate your way in, like I said. Yes, negotiate your way in. It's very important. Negotiate your way in. Negotiation is everything. So there are negotiation, but the question is asking yourself, if I'm in this person's shoes, what would someone tell me that can convince me to give out this thing for free? Because everybody has a need, of course. Everybody has a need. So if you can be able to find that need and satisfy it, their hearts and hands will be open to you. Exactly, sir. And that is how it works. All right. So the next thing you have to understand is that you have to understand there is something called partnership agreements. Now, I want to talk about this partnership agreement very well. I've done a business that there was no partnership agreement before. I know what I'm telling you. That you have the idea and your friend have the money. You know, I always tell people something. Hold your ear again. Hold your ear. Yes, hold it very well. The best time to share money is when there is no money yet. The best time to share money is when there is no money yet. I was with a friend, and this friend was sharing some stories of how a relative and two, they were teaching in a school to a point they were not satisfied anymore with what was happening in that school. So they decided to turn their school of teaching to the business of teaching. All right. So they went in, they started a school. There was no document that said that this is how much anybody should bring. So we need chalk. So person will now bring chalk and put. We need resources. We need duster. We need board. We need to build a 5-block room, five blocks of 5 classroom block. This person was okay. Let me do it. And at the end of the day, there was no documentation of what the other person brought to the business. They know that this person brought it. So when the money started coming in, it became an issue. Okay, because this person wanted a share of the profit, and now they now had to sit down to say, you brought this, you brought that. How do we share this? And it became an issue. That school did not last more than 3 years because trouble started. If they had defined this before they started, it wouldn't be an issue. Because somebody was bringing the idea. Somebody was saying, I brought all the money. You did not bring any money. The person said, but I brought all the resources. My time, I was always sleeping in school. I was training teachers. If you had paid for that training, what would have happened? These are now define things. Those services you're offering, quantify it in money and add it as your capital into that injection. I'm telling you the honest truth. So I will say it again. The best time to share money the best time to share money is when there is no money yet. Understand that very well. All right. So what I'm saying here is that understand partnership agreement. Let there be defined agreement of closer person. This is the responsibility. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to come together to do this and make it work. When these things happen, then you are certain and sure that it would flow. The two people should sign it before you even bring out 1 naira. Even before you even share your idea to someone, there's something called NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Because you're sharing this idea with someone who have the money to even run the business without you. You can share the idea, finish. Nothing else is left. And they will take it. The next time you start ranting on Facebook that you shared your idea with this rich man, and the next day he started that business. Shut up. There is no monopoly of idea anywhere. No, there is. The only way you write your name on an idea is that you're doing a patent or you've executed it. And the best way to write your name on the idea is execution. When I say execution, I mean quick execution, fast execution. That's the only way you write your name on an idea. Every other, they stole my idea, they did this, nah, lie. In fact, you'll be so naive, you would so regret it, you will be so stupid that you shared an idea and you felt like because it came out from your mouth, is your idea. Did you write your name on the idea? Ideas are intangible. The same way idea is dropping in your head, is dropping in 10,000 other people's head. If you're not fast in executing it, somebody else will execute it. Have you not seen that you wanted to start this business before, and all of a sudden, after like 3 months, someone else started, you say, hey, I wanted to start this business before. I wanted to start it, and someone has started. Are you not ashamed of yourself? You shouldn't be saying that crap. You shouldn't be saying that. Now, I have a friend that always says something, that the best way to execute something, now, let's imagine now, just follow me with this imagination now. I'll teach you this concept, all right? Follow me with this imagination. Let's say that you want to sit down, all right? And you sat on a pin. Tell me what will be your reaction? I believe you will just sit on that pin and cross your leg very well with a champagne and now start drinking malt, milk, and all those salad and coleslaw. Is that what you would do? There is this reflex action that will make you want to jump up immediately. That is how you should react to idea. For every time an idea comes, that is how you should jump up immediately and execute. Stop asking yourself, what would I get? Do I have the money to execute this? Have you talked to people? Have you checked Facebook? Have you asked Google? Have you went to ChatGPT to ask, how do I start this business without money? How do I execute this idea? In the world of today, it is not the intelligent people that will succeed, though. It's people who can use their intelligence to execute an idea and get results. And that is the fact. All right? So I read a book by Bill Gates, Business at the Speed of Thought, and I noticed something about these guys. They all execute with speed. When I read the book Blitzscaling, I understood something about Blitzscaling. There was a time Facebook, their mantra was just fast and break things. They don't care about perfection. They don't care about accuracy. They don't care about getting it perfect. At that point in time, what they needed was speed of execution, because then Snapchat just launched. They wanted to incorporate a couple of other things. They wanted to buy Snapchat. Snapchat refused. So they needed to clone almost every feature of Snapchat into WhatsApp. They need to clone every feature they can clone on Facebook. They need to roll out features as fast as possible so that they don't sync. Luckily for them, and they were also able to buy off Instagram and a couple of WhatsApp. But they worked as though that, what if they say no? Speed of execution. That is how big companies rise. You don't learn it when you become big. You learn it now that you're more. You want to start a business and you want to go to market and price how much is bed sheet. For 5 weeks now, you've been postponing to go to market to price how much is bed sheet. I want to check the price of CapCut to read the video. For 5 weeks, you've been taking the price of Cap. You're procrastinating. You don't know you're eating your future. Stop that rubbish. You are a king. You are a queen. You are more than that, of course. Life shouldn't be always serious, but then don't get mentality that executing. That's how things should be. Execution, speed of execution. All right. So I will also put this, the fourth warning: don't be so desperate to get money that you sell off your business. Don't be so desperate. Okay. Someone said, I'll give you 100% for the money, but then I don't know how you want to do it, but then you also have to be cautious. Have someone that will guide you with a very low tune. Now, have someone that will guide you, a series of mentorship that would help you. This is how it works, okay? So find a way to make it work. Business is very important, and business can be brutal. So I want to tell you something again. After you've known this 4 warnings I'm giving you, I'm asking you now, I want to tell you the resources you can get from these people. One resource you can get from them is a land. Do you need a land? Who do you know that has the land? Are they willing to give the land? On what terms are they willing to give the land? Get the land is a resource. Does someone have the money that you need? Yes, someone has the money that you need. What can you do? What can you offer them to get this money in return? It's also a resource. All right. So, is there a skill? Now, I want to tell you this story, and probably that will be where we'll round it off for tonight. It's a story I want to share with you, and with that, we'll round off. So, there was a time I still about starting a business without money. All right. So, I had this group of friends then after I left university. That was around 2016 when I left school, my university period. All right. So after 2016, we started a couple of things, and a friend of mine called me and said, my brother can design JamCBT app. And when I looked at this app, it was awesome. It was marvelous. It was wonderful. Like, it was sweet, sleek, exquisite. And then the next year will be the first time Jam will write CBT for the first time. For the first time. And this person had the vision to put out Jam CBT first for people to start training with. When I saw it, I was marveled. I said, wow, no problem. Let's do this business together. They were not asking me anymore what I'll bring to the table, because they know I can sell things. And I took the half-baked bread. The app was not fully ready. I told them, don't worry, put it like that on Play Store. It doesn't have to be ready. Because the more you are still trying to perfect it, the more you're still trying to make it perfect, other people will launch it before you. OT law, speed of execution. I said, put it on Play Store. Give me the web version. Give me the desktop version. And I went to a school. The school, I think that was Learning Field International School then. I'm giving them a shout actually, because when I went there, I told them that there was even the people that had the software have not even placed the price on it. But me, I understand. How do you understand market value? It is a tangible resource for you to set your price with. What did I tell them? I told them this Jam CBT is 1,500 each. I will give you the cash. They announced it to. They announced it. Do you know almost about 50 persons bought at the spot? That was 5 naira as of 2016 and 2017. And I took this money back to these guys that did it. I didn't take away, I didn't take out 1 naira from it. I was being naive too. I would have negotiated with them, say, if I sell this thing, what is my commission? But I was after proving to them that the market is viable for them. I took the 75,000 naira back to them, and their eyes open and they said, come, let's do business. I said, okay, we'll do business, but this is how we'll do the business. That you guys are so many in this team. Okay, guys, apologies for that. So for the breaking transmission. So I told them something. I told them, you guys are playing in this team, lots of people in the team, and I'm not sure I can work with lots of people. All right. So, but then what I can do is that I can also help you market your app for a while. But then while I'm doing that, what I want you to do is that how much would I pay so that I can have this app customized for me with my own logo, with the way it should be? I was already thinking business. And they said, that's okay, oh, that's fine. We don't get strength to enter markets. We cannot do market. Can I pay us also amount of money? I said, no problem. The same amount of money I paid them was the money I also earned from selling their own app for them. The commission I made from it, I paid it to them, and they customized the same app for me. And that was how we made, I and my team, my partner then, who I brought into the business, that was how we made our first million. Was it our first million or even second million? I can't remember exactly. But it was so lucrative, and I didn't have to spend one dime. I didn't have to spend one dime, like 1 naira I didn't spend. Just by negotiation, knowing what to do and how to do it. Other people's resources. This one is even more brutal because someone took your resources and paid it back to you and got a service from you. Are you understanding it now? So you need to understand a couple of things. And these same guys, we went back to them and said, we want another feature that will work offline, not as an app now, but as a web app. So that people who have server, like schools that have lots of computer, we can have a central system like a server that they can now distribute to other systems. And now, so like that, I think one of the schools we went to set that on. That was how I learned. Networking. And I say networking, I don't mean bring two people that will bring two people. I mean system networking, how to network more than 100 laptops, so that what is happening in one will be happening in all of the 100. So that was how I learned that, and business was moving so fine and smooth. And those periods, there was no single day that ended without having at least 5,000 naira. That is the money that was coming from Play Store. Because we added our own app on Play Store, people will buy. We went to lots of schools then. In fact, to a point, we were able to negotiate to get connected to the question that was SIPAN also, the Computer Professional for Anambra State of Nigeria. I can't remember exactly. We negotiated a deal with them to have, how many people that will write JAM, to have about 100 naira, 150 naira per head of every JAM candidate that is registered on your center. I don't know how much they were making. It's not my business. But that commission was very important to us. And we made so much money from that deal. That was years back. Oh. You can now imagine what is happening now. I'm telling you, there is money from zero. Like zero does, like I said before I started this class, zero does not mean nothing. Zero does not mean nothing. Zero does not mean nothing. You can always make money from anything. So I want to ask you this as a question. You'll be listening to me. If you still don't apply this that you listen, it's as good as that you did not listen. The person who didn't come to this class is better than you. The person who didn't come to this class is better than you. And also, before I end this class, I also want to please beckon on you. There are lots of things that will be going on, and we have a WhatsApp channel. I may not be able to post the link on the comments or probably part of the description of this video, but please just use this bit.ly/midweekms to join the WhatsApp channel. We share lots of good things there. Like if you actually enjoy this class, imagine being reminded every Wednesday to join this class, like I reminded you today for people who are here. All right. So there are other things you would give that would have to give it to you and the rest. So, and at the same time, too, I also want you to do something very remarkable for me. All right. So I want you to add this to your calendar so that every Wednesday by 8:55 p.m., something will come up and pop up. Your alarm will remind you. You don't need to do too much. Just click a link. I would show you to put that to your calendar. This link. Okay, there are two links flowing now. The first one, they add this event to your calendar. bit.ly/midweek money school time. Once you click on that, it would activate. Okay, where is it again? Okay, so once you click on that, it would activate your Google Calendar, and all you have to do is just to click on add, and it will add. That is also for people who are watching me from TikTok. I'm sorry I might not be able to post that there. And people who are on Instagram and X, please, just people on the Facebook, you're especially loved, and that is why I'm giving you the 100% of my attention. So enjoy it so that we can be able to meet again and again. So please, I'll post it again for the last time. All right. So that is it for the WhatsApp community. I call it my inner circle. We call ourselves money miners. We dey mine money, not be only crypto people, they mine and Bitcoin. We dey mine money. And by next year, part of the things I'll teach you about next year, if your mind cannot carry it, please, no show face. All right? There is a special thing that makes churches succeed. I don't care how much you criticize churches, so I don't care how much you hate churches. There is a model practiced by churches that makes them succeed. And what we don't know is that these models were borrowed from business schools. So by January and February, part of the things that I'll be teaching you, I'll be teaching 7 income streams you can earn in 7 weeks. I'll teach that. It will take us, it will be a series. And I'll also teach you the church business model. It might be new to you. You're not prepared for what you're about to hear. Series of things and practices you can get from the church that when you put into your business, you will skyrocket. I don't care what you think, but then follow it thoroughly and you will achieve a whole lot of things. All right, so this is it. And by now, I will call it an end. Please, if you followed me all through till now, I want to tell you, you are specially loved. You are specially loved. You are specially loved. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me this time. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful night. I'll see you again this time on Wednesday by 8:55 p.m. for our midweek money school. That's what we call it. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Chosen to walk in prosperity that honors God. I am receiving divine acceleration in income and influence. I am living in a renewed financial identity. I am breaking into abundance with confidence. I am operating from a place of wisdom and peace. I am harnessing the creativity that produces riches. I am wealthy in thought, word, and action. I am stepping into the financial greatness reserved for me. I am flourishing with opportunities tailored for my destiny. I am increasing in value every single day. I am functioning at a level where breakthrough is normal. I am becoming a steward of abundant resources. I am prospering even in unexpected seasons. I am stable in my financial mindset. I am aligned with divine strategies for increase. I am walking through open doors with boldness. I am positioned for wealth that influences nations. I am manifesting prosperity with intention. I am rising beyond every financial limitation. I am prepared for the responsibilities of wealth. I am surrounded by opportunities for elevation. I am blessed with grace that attracts abundance. I am embodying the principles that build success. I am reflecting abundance from the inside out. I am receiving divine clarity for wealth decisions. I am stepping into more than I ever imagined. I am walking in continuous financial breakthroughs. I am prospering in ways that honor my purpose. I am aligned with divine favor in career and business. I am receiving unstoppable momentum for wealth creation. I am attracting prosperity with my thoughts and actions. I am functioning with financial courage. I am becoming the architect of my abundant future. I am receiving wisdom that multiplies every resource. I am advancing into supernatural financial overflow. I am stepping into opportunities ordained for my rise. I am expressing prosperity as part of my identity. I am believing boldly for wealth that reflects destiny. I am attracting divine assistance for every money matter. I am flourishing regardless of external conditions. I am empowered to create systems that sustain prosperity. I am committed to the journey of lifelong abundance. I am functioning at the frequency of wealth. I am receiving grace to expand beyond limitations. I am stepping with confidence into financial freedom. I am aligned with breakthroughs that accelerate my progress. I am leaving behind every mindset that restricts wealth. I am embracing decisions that elevate my financial reality. I am surrounded by resources that meet every need. I am prospering in all that I set my hands to do. I am manifesting abundance daily. I am walking into wealthy spaces with grace. I am infused with divine strength to succeed financially. I am receiving unexpected financial blessings. I am positioned to influence wealth creation in others. I am flourishing with ideas that continue to grow. I am confidently walking into abundance-filled opportunities. I am breaking through financial ceilings with ease. I am stepping into divine overflow without stress. I am walking with favor that multiplies results. I am releasing greatness in every financial decision. I am stepping into financial victories prepared for me. I am aligned with prosperity in every season. I am growing into my divine financial identity. I am attracting wealth that carries peace. I am empowered to walk in consistent overflow. I am equipped to prosper with excellence. I am generating wealth with intention and faith. I am connected to ideas that multiply wealth. I am surrounded by divine favor in business and career. I am mentally equipped for financial greatness. I am operating in a mindset that attracts prosperity. I am rising into overflow and sufficiency. I am establishing generational wealth with purpose. I am becoming a financial pillar for others. I am strengthened to steward riches with excellence. I am empowered to handle overflow. I am connected to the resources needed for my vision. I am walking in financial boldness and clarity. I am stepping into expansion and new levels. I am creating wealth strategies rooted in wisdom. I am unlocking streams of income assigned to my destiny. I am receiving supernatural ideas for financial elevation. I am rising above every financial barrier. I am walking in divinely orchestrated opportunities. I am designed to prosper and impact nations. I am a magnet for profitable relationships. I am surrounded by wise financial counsel. I am operating with divine insight in all investments. I am favored in every financial decision. I am building wealth with discipline and grace. I am walking in financial freedom daily. I am aligned with abundance that accelerates my assignment. I am evolving into a master of financial stewardship. I am trusted with divine ideas that unlock prosperity. I am equipped to rise above economic pressure. I am empowered to break cycles of scarcity. I am expanding in income, influence, and impact. I am stepping into rooms where favor speaks for me. I am positioned for business breakthroughs. I am seeing financial miracles manifest in my life. I am connected to the right opportunities at the right time. I am chosen for wealth with purpose. I am protected from financial loss. I am stable, grounded, and secure in my finances. I am guided by divine wisdom in money matters. I am licensed by heaven to prosper. I am opening doors to wealth that will never close. I am rising into the kind of wealth that brings peace. I am stepping into abundance without fear. I am prosperous in all that I touch. I am unlocking the potential within me to create wealth. I am strengthened to complete every financial goal I start. I am breaking old money patterns and embracing new wisdom. I am anointed to increase and expand. I am becoming the wealthiest version of myself. I am prospering in my mind before I prosper in my hands. I am overflowing with creativity for financial growth. I am empowered to break financial ceilings. I am blessed with ideas that attract wealth. I am accelerating in prosperity. I am divinely positioned for inheritance. I am walking in financial ease and divine support. I am embracing a mindset of abundance daily. I am attracting money with the energy of faith. I am surrounded by people who uplift my financial journey. I am expanding into opportunities tailor-made for me. I am receiving divine speed in all financial endeavors. I am growing wealth that lasts beyond generations. I am becoming a testimony of divine prosperity. I am living a life where finances follow purpose. I am unlocking hidden treasures assigned to me. I am favored to succeed financially. I am stepping into wealthy places spiritually and physically. I am living a life where abundance is normal. I am more than equipped to earn, save, invest, and multiply money. I am disciplined in handling wealth. I am surrounded by divine provision. I am breaking the mindset that limits wealth. I am rising with supernatural financial intelligence. I am entering a season of overflow. I am positioned to receive abundance with grace. I am aligned with wealthy thoughts and wealthy results. I am consistent in the habits that create wealth. I am walking in wisdom that preserves money. I am increasing in financial confidence. I am favored for promotions and raises. I am attracting divine partnerships. I am a channel of financial blessings to others. I am walking in wealthy decisions. I am expanding my earning potential daily. I am protected from wrong financial moves. I am aligned with financial breakthroughs ordained for me. I am stepping into divine wealth acceleration. I am unlocking new levels of income. I am grateful for the abundance flowing to me. I am shifting from survival to overflow. I am equipped with wealth-building strategies. I am blessed with supernatural favor. I am stepping into financial miracles. I am overflowing with resources for my assignment. I am empowered to grow financially every day. I am living in the reality of abundance. I am embracing the lifestyle of financial success. I am seeing every debt replaced with abundance. I am rising above financial pressure with ease. I am securing wealth that enhances my purpose. I am surrounded by divine supply. I am chosen for prosperity that honors God. I am led into opportunities that multiply wealth. I am dominating financial spaces with wisdom. I am walking boldly into prosperity. I am ready for the financial elevation set before me. I am capable of handling great wealth. I am stepping into a higher financial reality. I am blessed with unstoppable momentum. I am surrounded by abundance at all times. I am progressing financially with divine help. I am favored to win financially. I am increasing my wealth mindset daily. I am aligned with divine prosperity. I am building a legacy of wealth. I am equipped to turn ideas into income. I am walking in divine financial confidence. I am prosperous in my thoughts and actions. I am attracting wealth-producing opportunities. I am blessed with financial increase. I am flourishing in every financial area. I am living in supernatural provision. I am advancing financially with speed. I am walking in divine financial timing. I am surrounded by open doors. I am stepping into wealthy places. I am moving from financial stress to financial rest. I am empowered to build wealth with joy. I am blessed in the work of my hands. I am equipped with supernatural money wisdom. I am positioned for divine compensation. I am rising into higher financial realms. I am going from glory to glory in my finances. I am receiving divine instructions for wealth. I am breaking financial delays. I am favored in all money matters. I am aligned with financial overflow. I am blessed with an abundance mentality. I am stepping into prosperity boldly. I am establishing wealth foundations. I am empowered for financial dominion. I am becoming financially unstoppable. I am walking into divine wealth transfers.